Welcome back, friends, to Inclusive Teaching Practices Part 2. To have an inclusive teaching environment in the school, it is very important that a respectful dialogue is being created amongst the students and the teachers. We also have to ensure that the microaggressions and the biases are being removed. And the teacher facilitators has to encourage diverse voices and have to ensure that these voices are being heard. The curriculum design in the inclusive teaching practices should have representation of different communities in the content development. The material should be culturally responsive and very important that the stereotypes should be avoided. To ensure that the students take the instructions or the chapters in a positive way, they are able to understand, we have to ensure that these content is tailor-made or say customized. The content should have the representation of different communities, as I mentioned, and they should be as per the need of the students. Every teaching should happen where it is culturally responsive. So the teacher facilitators have to acknowledge the students' cultural differences, and also they have to incorporate the students' lived experiences. It is very clear that the students nowadays, they come from different backgrounds, different situation in which they are at homes. So when they come to school, it is the duty of the teacher facilitators that they take care of it. About the language and communication, the teacher facilitator have to ensure that it is gender neutral, it is inclusive, it does not hurts the feeling of any community as such. Teacher facilitators also have to avoid complex phrasing. They should use simple language, simple words, so that the chapter is being communicated to the students very clearly. They have to provide language support wherever it is required. About the accessibility and the technology and its use by the teacher facilitators, it's very important that the teacher facilitators, they update and upgrade themselves about the digital tools which are available nowadays. About the videos which they present, they have to ensure that the captions are provided, the lecture which are being given or the knowledge, the definitions which are being given. For that, they should provide transcripts. When these transcripts are being passed on to the students, the teacher facilitator should ensure that they have proper color contrast and the font is readable. After so much effort which has been put on by the teacher facilitators or by the school, then any teaching, any school curriculum is not complete without the assessment or say a proper assessment systems. So it's very important to have multiple forms of assessment, that is in the form of projects, presentations, portfolios. So we are all aware about that the CBSE nowadays is recommending projects like summer projects are being given, the subject enrichment activities are being suggested. All are in a way which are taking care of inclusive teaching requirements. So the student should be offered choices when the assessment is done. Now, Talking about the addressing implicit biases, one has to be self-aware. One has to have an inclusive behavior where the students of different communities, different backgrounds, different capabilities, different abilities are brought on same platform but given complete support for their success, for their growth in life. So for this purpose, the teacher facilitators need to have regular professional development. So, talking about the students with the special needs, the teacher facilitator has to understand the accommodation requirement. They also should be well aware about the legal rights of these students. They should be collaborating with the support services available to them, and they should be well aware about the technologies and the assistive technologies which can be provided for these students, like talking about the hearing aids, the braille tools, the wheelchairs, the customized keyboards, talking about the therapies, talking about the NGOs. So all these support system should be well provided to the students. Language is one of the major, can say, tool through which the knowledge is being passed to the students. So it's very important that the concepts are being understood by the students. For this, code switching should be allowed. Then for, you can say, explaining the concepts, the visual aids and scaffolding should be taken as a tool. And also, very important is peer support should be encouraged. CBSE is also talking about peer support when they talk about assessment. In the report cards, even the peers are given a chance to explain or give opinion about their friends. Yes, so once we have chosen certain method or say methodology or tool to pass on or take up the inclusive teaching in the classroom, it's very important to have a regular survey and reflections as to understand and have a proper feedback from the students. It is going to help us understand if the students have been helped or they still require further more help. So this data is going to help in adapting further better and better teaching methods. Talking about the challenges and solutions, the challenges with inclusive teaching are there. So how to overcome? With the time when school or say the teacher facilitator is developing, they will further better understand the resources, the tools which are further required. Talking about the institutional support, which is very much required in this case. So we start small. We can take up one practice at a time and try to implement in a proper way, improve it, and then go ahead. So inclusive teaching is ongoing work. We have to keep learning, keep adapting, and keep listening. Very important to understand is that every student matters, every student belongs. So with this, I would like to thank you. Thank you for the patient listening. Please ask a question and the queries in the description in the comment box, and subscribe and support Holistic Learning Portal for further enriching videos. Thank you.